I'm realizing now that I have an overabundance of Harry Potter merch, but that's not going to stop me from buying more. So this one is a tank top because, you know, I live in Florida and it's currently March. However, it's like 80 degrees outside. So yeah, this one has a whole bunch of different spells on it, and it's like very comfortable and soft. I got it from Hey guys, it's Deborah. So today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I finished in February and all of the books I plan to read in March. This is the first time I filmed one of these videos in a very long time, and I'm very excited because I finished a large number of books for me this month. I finished 3 books and I plan to read between 3 and 4 books next month. So let's roll with this and see how it goes. The first book I finished in February was Tales from the Shadowhunter Academy by Cassandra Clare. The main character of this book is Simon Lewis. He was one of the main characters in the Mortal Instruments. However, at the end of City of Heavenly Fire, some stuff went down and now the rest of the gang is trying to bring him back into the world with a reason. They finally found a reason, so he is back within this world of shadow hunters and other things, and demons and werewolves and vampires and fairies and things like that. He has to ascend and become a shadow hunter, which is what this book is all about. I don't really want to go much more in depth because I don't want to spoil the rest of the series. This book is after the Dark War, and it is at Shadowhunter Academy, which closed right after Valentine and his men took over and did things that they shouldn't have, which is explained more, obviously, in the Mortal Instruments series, which I highly recommend reading, as well as this one. I quite enjoyed this 650-pound brick. It's 650 pounds, or pages. I would recommend reading the Infernal Devices, then reading the Mortal Instruments, reading this, and then reading the Dark Artifices, and obviously once the last hours come out, and the other books that will be in the Shadowhunter world, reading them in order of when they happen, rather than reading them in order of when they come out. Either way works, really. The next 2 books are actually the first 2 books in a trilogy by Ransom Riggs, and that is Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children and Hollow City. I finished Hollow City on February 28th, which is yesterday, but this video won't be up until later. I absolutely loved it. I loved both of these books very much. This series revolves around the main character, Jacob Portman. His grandfather was peculiar, which means they have special powers, and he tries to go to this island known as Cairnholm to follow his grandfather's last words and his wishes. So he goes there and he meets all of these very strange children who have odd powers. Some can control fire or float, or one of them has bees living inside of him. Some can grow plants quickly and at will. And there's obviously more. He goes to this world and a whole bunch of bad stuff is actually occurring when he enters, and he has to try and help them fix it, and it is absolutely phenomenal. I quite enjoyed these, and I would highly recommend you go read them, like, right now. When these books are naked, they are so pretty. This is the second book, and his name, which is on the cover right here, is mentioned quite a lot in the second book, as well as Miss Peregrine's, who's on the front of this book. Alma LaFay Peregrine. The reason her name is Peregrine is because she can shapeshift into a peregrine bird, which is explained more in the books. So you should go read them and find out why. The first book I hope to finish in March is Library of Souls by Ransom Riggs, which is the 3rd and final book in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children trilogy. This continues the story of Jacob and all of the other peculiar children, and I just started reading it, so I'm only like 70 pages in or something, and I'm excited to finish this series and see where things lead within these books, because so far they seem phenomenal. Next book I plan to read I actually do not own yet, or exactly know, but I have to read a book for school, so that is on my TBR. It's fiction, and there's like 8 different choices, but I haven't decided. I think I'm gonna read one called Little Brother. I'm not exactly sure. The next book that I want to read in March is called King's Cage by Victoria Aveyard. This book is the sequel to Red Queen and Glass Sword. It is in the Red Queen world. I'm not exactly sure how to describe it. And it actually came with a neat little poster thingy, one of which I don't want to read what it says because I'm afraid it's going to spoil what happens in this book. So, Red Bloods. The past books in the series have revolved around the main character, Mira Burrow. She finds out that she has a power. Even though she has red blood, she can control lightning. Red blood people are common people and have no special powers. If you have silver blood, you have special powers, like some can control this or that or that. I don't remember very well because it's been over a year since I've read them now. She obviously wants to learn more about this power and things like that. Red Queen is about her exploring this power and trying to fight for red-blooded citizens of the country or world that they live in, because normally red bloods are treated like slaves, basically, with a few rights. There's a lot of stuff that happens in between Red Queen and Glass Sword that is kind of overwhelming and really surprising. There was a large, like, oh my goodness plot twist towards the end of Red Queen. The only reason Mare is allowed to stay in the palace is because she becomes betrothed to Mavin, who is the Queen's son. There's just like a lot of stuff and it's really interesting. It's a very fantasy dystopian read. It's not, you can't really classify it as either one, but it's like a fantasy and dystopian all in one. This is the next book that I want to read, one of the books that I want to read in March. The last one is a if I can get to it kind of book. I hope I can get to this one, but I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. But it is Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff. I am not exactly sure what this book revolves around, to be completely honest. I know Katie and Ezra, and they are exes. The year is 2575. There's two mega corporations who are rivals and are at war over a tiny little planet. However, the people living on it had no idea. I'm assuming Katie and Ezra are living on that planet. Something deadly that has broken out, I assume it's probably a virus. They want to figure out what's going on because they don't really know. It seems very interesting, but the catch is the entire book is written within emails, schematics, military files, IMs, medical reports, interviews, and other things. So it's an interesting way of writing. Like, this looks like a computer something or other. Oh. What? Okay, I just found this in my book. It was also a birthday present. Okay. I'm honestly not very sure what this is about, but everyone on BookTube is raving about it and is like, ah! Especially with the sequel. So I'm extremely excited to see what this is about. It says first survive and then tell the truth. Also, a moment of appreciation for this cover, like, oh my gosh. It is a 22.7 chance of survival. The full extent of the damage is unknown, so that's what I'll do. Follow bleeping orders. But whenever there's supposed to be a cuss word, it literally bleeps it out on the page, which I find really interesting. But it's quite a beautiful book, and I'm excited to read this one day in the future. So these are all of the books that I mentioned in this video and plan to read / finish this month or for March or whatever. How do I put these down? I'm just gonna kind of flop them on my bed. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel to get notified when I upload new videos. I will see you guys later. Goodbye!